Hey, this is Chris Homby with Chris Homby's Golf Fitness. Today we're going to have workout one. We're going to first start off with our dynamic stretching on the wall. We're going to do our core work, so you're going to need a pad. We're going to do our strength training today. We're going to do bands. So we're not going to do the dumbbells, we're not going to do the cables, we're going to do the bands. And then we're going to do some lower body exercises. And then we'll do the bike. So if you have a cardio machine, it could be a row, Stairmaster, bicycle. And then we'll finish off with some static stretching. We'll get ready in 3, 2, 1.
In 5, 4.
All right, guys, so we're going to start off with dynamic stretching. That's knees to chest. So everything we're going to do right now is we're going to try to take pressure off our lower back. So knees to chest. So hip flexor attached to the femur lifts quad, then I'm pulling up. So that's taking pressure off your lower back. If you need to hang on to something, that's fine too. Next thing is going to be quad stretch. So your greater stroke canter attaches to your femur, pulls your pelvis forward. So that's why we want to do our quad stretch. And again, this is dynamic stretching. We're just stretching with movement. We're putting our body. Again, if you need to hang on to something, that's fine. But it's not a hold. If you can't grab just pick your leg up. I don't care. You'll be able to do it in about 2 weeks. Next one I'd like for you to do is a stork. That's going to be take your arm around and your stork.
You get the next round in 3, 2.
So knee goes to the front, knee goes to the side, knee to the front, knee to the side, knee to the front, knee to the side. So this is your muscle called the QL. It's in the lower back. So we're going to open up our QL, take pressure off our hips.
5 seconds left.
So try not to let the hips move. And then we'll go to the next side.
You have completed 3 of 8 rounds. You get the next round in 3, 2.
Knee to the front, knee to the side, knee to the front, knee to the side. Here we go.
5 seconds down.
So again, it's going to work your balance. It's going to work internal, external rotation. And you can just knee the side, knee the front, knee the side, knee the front. Next one I'd like for you to do is basically do internal and external rotation of your hips. And so it's going to be a big circle. So a big circle.
5 seconds down.
So let's go counterclockwise. Then we'll go clockwise.
5 seconds left.
And then back to counterclockwise. Good. And again, after you get through a couple times, you can kind of start going a little faster. For right now, just kind of keep it slow. So let's go clock. Just open up your hip.
5 seconds down.
You might have to hang on to your 6-iron or hang on to the wall.
5 seconds left.
Oh, and then counterclockwise. Sorry. Next one. Find your wall. Inside leg is back. Hand is like a moon. So you're going to go like a moon. And the first ones you can let your body follow your arm. So I'm going to let my body follow my arm. Then I'm going to let my head stay straight and go around. It'll help you with your shoulders. So again, now we go inside leg is back. First one, I'm going to follow it. So I have a bad right shoulder, so this is a lot easier on my left side. Then we'll keep our head forward. You'll see I have a lot more range of motion on this side than the other side. All right, so that's your dynamic stretching. Next, we're going to go to core. Grab your mat. Let's get on the floor. 3, 2, 1. All right, so our front bridge. Act like you're watching TV. Shoulders, elbows, wrists, hip, knee, ankle. Pick knees up. And again, guys, you can get fancy and cute and do a lot of core work, but to be honest with you, stay with the basics. Get the foundation down. If you try to do the other stuff and you don't have the foundation, you're just going to have compensation. So this is a front bridge. I'm gonna modify it. If we're lacking the upper body strength, I like to do front bridge on a physio ball. Hips are gonna go over knees, abduct in, pick knees up. Hold this. 20 seconds. Yes, you can lift the left leg, you can lift the right leg, but right now, just kind of stick and stay here. Good. Next one, we're going to do a side bridge. So shoulders, elbows, wrist, hip, knee, ankle. Pick hips up. Left hand behind. Roll shoulder blade back. Act like somebody rolls a ball up underneath you. My hands, it's not on the direct pressure not on my elbow, it's kind of on my hand. So I'm moving forward. And again, you can do hip drops, you can do leg ups, you can kind of change it around all the way. I'll show you on this side. So again, shoulder, elbows, wrist, hip, knee, ankle. Act like a ball runs underneath you. Right hand behind, roll shoulder blade back, hold. Hip drops. Right leg up. And then this hold. The next one we're going to do is called supine bridge. You don't need that. So lay on your back, toes up, heels go above your knees. You should feel a stretch in your quad and a firing in your glutes. You can always go up and down if you want to. I can fire my glutes. But really, if you feel a stretch in that quad and a fire in the glute, keep that thing up. Just a little modification. It's called a figure 4 hip drop. Figure 4. I do keep my toe down on this one, but I try to get my hip above my knee. And again, I'm stretching my left piriform, my left glute, fire my right glute. And then the other side. Yep, then the other side. So down, up, up.
5 seconds down. Halfway.
Up and down. Did I miss a side bridge? I didn't? All right, I'm off one. I'm gonna go back to side bridge. So, I think it's here. I think I only did one of these. I did 2? All right, so if you find one of your sides is easier than the other, this is my hard side, my positive side that I need more work on. So I'm gonna go back and do it twice. How's that? Fair enough?
5 seconds left.
And I'll lift it up. Good, so that's our core work. Now we're gonna get our bands and we're gonna do our strength conditioning. All right guys, for this one right here, we're gonna do our bands. We're gonna double the band over. This is for our back. So we're gonna double the band over, put your hand on it. We're gonna throw your hips back, throw your chest up, and you're just gonna do your rows. So this is a bent over row. You might do it with the red band, you might do it with the purple band. It's up to you. Again, throw my hips back. I'm gonna try to get my elbows above my back. Not let my shoulders slump through. Throw it back. I love bands because they're very joint friendly. You can go eccentric, concentric, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So we'll do 2 of those. So again, I'm gonna load my hips back, load my shoulder blades back, and do my rows.
5 seconds down.
Now you get into speed training, you would speed this stuff up. For today, on strength training, we're just gonna squeeze the muscle. Good, next one we're gonna do is overhead press. So this one we will not double over, we'll just go to the side. Thumbs are on the outside, flip it over, and do your overhead presses.
5 seconds down. Halfway.
Again, range of motion. Here to here's joint, here to here's shoulder. So keep the range short and tight. Next one, I'm gonna add a little bit of a modification. So thumbs out, real wide, up. This is where you actually start. So start from here, this down. Now I wanna go out, up, out, up, out. So when you go out, don't let it come down. Keep it high and just go out. Okay? Shoot for about 15 to 20 of those. The next one, you don't see that often, but I want to strengthen my upper back. So this one here, you're going to go wide, and you're going to kind of touch your chest. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's not triceps. This stays long. Elbows stay locked.
5 seconds left.
Good. Let's do that one more time. Now you'll definitely feel those. So again, keep it kind of taut. Just touch your chest. 1, 2, 1, 2. If you want to speed it up, you can. But you will feel it in that lower, that upper back. 1, 2, 1, 2. The next one we're going to do is a side lateral. I like doing side laterals on bands. I have a bad shoulder, so I'm going to start on this side. Come over here. So I'm going to basically lift up on this side. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You'll notice my knuckles are not up, my knuckles are down. I want to take pressure off this muscle and put it on my shoulder. And again, 1, 2. Now we'll go to the other side. Now the great thing about this, I would not be able to do this with dumbbells, but with bands, I can do side laterals. Or usually I won't even be able to do overhead presses either. So anybody with an injury, with a shoulder injury, this is actually really good. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Make it harder, scoot away. Make it easier, scoot closer. 1, 2, and 1, 2. There you go. All right, so that's gonna be our strength condition with the bands. Next we're gonna go to lower body in 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, I want to talk about squatting. You see it so often in the gym. I hear a lot of from orthos after people have knee surgery. And I just don't understand why people squat this way, but I want to show you, give you a suggestion on how to squat the other direction. So basically, in taking pressure off your knees, it's going to actually load your glutes and your hams. So most guys, when they squat, they'll squat and their knees will go forward. Well, do you like number 1 or do you like number 2? So number 1, when I go forward, I'm actually putting pressure on my knee, quads, knees, and patella supported by back. When I actually hit my hips go back, I'm loading glutes and hamstrings. So there's a couple ways you can do it. Number 1, act like somebody hits you in the gut. Boom. Go down. If you bow, that's hip joints. Now just keep pushing your hips back. If you played football, go down, throw your hands up. If you played baseball, be here, throw your hands up. The key is most people take their knees over their toes. During our legs, I'd like for you to take your knees behind your ankles. So again, focus on that proper form of technique. We want to load the hips, not put pressure on the quads and the patella and support it by back. Got it? All right, guys, so we're going to start doing our squats right now. Again, I like for you, if you have a line, I just like for you to move your hips back. Now, I'm not really squatting. I'm actually moving my hips back, which makes me look like I lower. But I'm definitely not going knees forward. So if I had 10,000 pounds of pressure on my back, I would definitely want to load my glutes. So I'm just going to keep doing that. Now these are called monkey squats because I want you to get a little deeper and open up your hips. So you just kind of go squat and just touch your knees, hands to your knuckles to the ground.
5 seconds down. Halfway. 5 seconds left. Stop.
All right, then we'll go straight into a lunge. If you can't do lunges because of knee issues, my suggestion is we'll compensate in a second. But from here, when you start with hip, knee, ankle, hip, knee, ankle. You're just gonna pick up, take your left knee to the ground, and push you to the right. So take your left knee to the ground, up, push your upper body back, ground, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Even if you have knee issues, you should be able to do those. There shouldn't be a problem. So I start like I'm taking a baseball pitcher, hip, knee, ankle, hip, knee, ankle. From here, I'm gonna push on my left heel and come up. Then I'm gonna take my right knee to the ground, right knee up. I have a bad left knee, so you saw me kind of put my hand on that. That just kind of, in my mind, protects me. But I'm still getting a stretch in my right quad. I'm still firing my left glute. All right, come over here for 1 sec. This is a single leg up. I'm gonna show you 2 ways to do this. So get you a box and just basically stand up. I like the rocking motion. I'm not doing this where I touch and go. I'm actually sitting down and coming up. If you wanna leave the ground a little bit, you can. But I am respectful for the joints, hip joint, knee joint, shoulder joint. That's why we don't leave the ground in here. The next one, I'm gonna do one leg. And again, I'm gonna rock. So I'm gonna use momentum. If this is hard at first, use your outside leg as a kickstand. So I'm gonna kick it down and help me pick myself up. You'll get to where you can just do it one leg. But you'll definitely feel it in your quad. So the next one, messed up again. So again, one leg up. Need the kickstand. If you don't need the kickstand, all right, we're only gonna do one of these. This is called a leg extension. Just put it on the wall, put it here, bring it 90, and do your leg extension. So you can do have a lot of versatility with these bands. There you go. All right, next we're gonna do a rotation. Here we go. All right, guys, the first one we're gonna do is our downswing. If you have a tendency to come over the top, I wanna put your heels in a black line from here. Just want you to drive down, hold for 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2. If you don't have this, don't worry about it. Just use your band and do the same thing. This is just more aesthetics. So 1, 2, 1, 2. If you have tendency to come too far inside, put your toes here so you feel like you're coming more out. We're always going to do both sides. So we're going to go this side. Right hand on top, left hand underneath. Impact.
5 seconds down. Halfway.
So again, I'm just taking my right shoulder, left shoulder, inside my left ankle, holding it for 2 seconds. Feel my core. Next, we're just going to do rotation. We're just going to go to the right, hold for 2, and left, hold for 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So again, guys, that's still core. Just feels like the golf swing, so I like it. Now, if you want to speed it up, you can do 1, 2, boom, and hold for 2, boom, boom, hold for 2. But you can do that on your own. So from here, hold 1, 2, hold 1, 2. I'm not turning with my arms. I'm turning my shoulders. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, this next one's the only one that kind of looks funny. You're gonna put your left hand in your sternum. You're gonna flip around, put it in your sternum, hold with your right. Let the band pull you to the backswing. So as you know, the swing is not rotary, the swing is elliptical. So you stay inside your ankles. Incorrect, correct. Let the band stretch you. So again, right hand, sternum, inside arm, under, flip, sternum, cover, follow through. Boom. Again, I'm not going rotary. I don't want my right shoulder going left. I want it going right down that line, inside that right ankle. Cool. So next one's going to be, our last one's going to be our backswing. So from here, right hand underneath. Again, I push straight back 3 inches. If you can go chin to hole, push straight back 3 inches. That's your backswing. So hold 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm not going around my body. That's rotary. Pushing straight back. Club looks like it's going up because I'm inverted. This side is the left-handed backswing or right-handed follow through. Left hand under, right hand on top. On top.
5 seconds down.
Again, if you want to make it feel like a follow through, you can. As you know, the shoulders never go left. The shoulders stay inside your right ankle. Okay, so that's your band workout, the beginner. Next, we're going to go back and we're going to do our bike. Here we go. All right, guys, so there's so many different stretches we can do, right? You can get cute with it. You can get fancy. You can spend an hour and a half on stretching. There's 2 that I like to do. One's going to be for the upper body and one's going to be for the lower body. So they're both going to be gravity stretches, and I just personally feel these are the most effective, and let me show them to you real quick. So the arms are gonna be 90, your chest, your knee's gonna be over your right knee, my chest's gonna be over my sternum. Then I'm gonna drive everything forward like I'm gonna win a race. Now this left heel is gonna be on the ground. I should feel the stretch up on my shoulders or my pec or my chest. If your arms are too low, you won't feel it. So they kind of have to be a little bit like shoulders, elbows, wrist in line with each other. So again, knee over foot, chest over knee, drive through, pick up, left heel on ground, and hold this for 30 seconds. So you're gonna hold this for 30 seconds. I'm just watching my clock. You might feel a stretch in your forearms. You might feel I don't know where you feel the stretch. Wherever you feel the stretch, that's where you're tight. So we just need to kind of sit down in it and hold it. And again, you don't have to hold stretches for an hour. Basically, static stretching, putting your body in unnatural positions. Just breathe, hold, release, 30 seconds. Anything after that, your goggly tendons are going to tighten up anyway, so you're really not stretching. Good. So then we'll go the other side. So how I do it, 90, left knee over left toe, sternum over knee, drive through, pick up, right heel on the ground. You'll find that your right heel will come off the ground. Try to get that right heel on the ground, and then just hold for 30 seconds. Oh, another thing too. Try not to have these thumbs over. Try to have them gripping. It just puts a little more pressure on the chest when you're gripping. So again, knee over left, sternum over knee, drive through, pick up, and 30 seconds. Cool. 2. Perfect. All right. So that's one I like for the upper body. It's going to work your chest. It's going to work your arms. It's going to work your hip flexors. It's going to work your calves. So I love that one. The next one I like to do is I call it a piriformis hip flexor calf hamstring stretch. And you can do this on any object that ain't going to move. Okay. So I'm going to grab this object here. And the first one is a piriformis. I'm just going to do a figure 4 and I'm going to drop down. So figure 4 drop. Hold this for about 5 seconds. Then I'm going to do a hip flexor stretch. A lot of people want to get too much depth, but from here it's just hip, knee, ankle, hip, knee, ankle. You're going to drive your right knee over your right toe. You're going to pick your upper body and push it back, and you're going to drive your left hip to the ground. Then you're going to straighten right, straighten left. So you're going to feel it in your right hamstring and your left calf. Let's do it again. So piriformis. 2 or 3 seconds. Feel it in your left glute. Hip flexor, right knee over right toe, push upper body back, drive left hip through. And then just straighten right, straighten left. So in real time, piriformis. I feel like I'm just dropping straight down, hip flexor, upper body, drive, and calf hamstring. Okay, left side, piriformis. Drop straight down, hip, knee, ankle, drive left knee over left toe, drive right hip to ground, push upper body back, and straighten left, straighten right. I like to do it 3 times. Piriformis, hip flexor, calf hamstring, and piriformis, hip flexor, calf hamstring. Okay, so that pretty much does the 20-minute workout. Okay, we did our dynamic stretching, we did our core, we did our weights with bands, did our rotation, we did our bike, and we finished off with static stretching. If you want to stick around, I'm going to show you 3 of the most common swing faults or effects and the causes of those, and then the exercises you can do in the gym to recreate that movement pattern in the gym. Thank you. All right, guys, so we're going to do our fitness routine, but also I want to add motion training to this. I want to show you how the body moves and causes the other 12 mechanical swing faults or effects. So in my world, there's only 2 things that can go wrong in a golf swing that causes the other 12 effects. So the casting, cupping, scooping, chicken, blocking, pulling, and I'll show you the main one. The main one is, the question I have for you is the golf swing rotary or elliptical? So let me ask again. So is the upper body in the golf swing rotary or elliptical? So if I stood flat and I rotate, I agree it's rotary. But once I invert 31, 33 degrees, now it turns into whatever this term is to you, rotary, underneath you, however you want to say it. So it goes from a merry-go-round to a Ferris wheel. And a lot of us, when we get inverted over the ball and we think rotation or rotary, so if let me ask you a question, because you already understand how to do it. You understand how to, if you can pitch, if you can putt, you can pitch, you can play. So if I putt elliptical, and if I pitch elliptical, why would I swing rotary? So whenever you believe that when you get over the ball and the swing is rotational and you invert, now when I go rotational, the club will come too far inside, your CNS knows it, so then you have to lift, then you cast, cup, scoop, chick, block, pull, and a whole bunch of other mechanical tot turns. The only sport I've ever played where they had these mechanical tot turns or effects or swing faults, right? So let me ask you a question. If you can invert, and really the golf swing is only 3 inches, so if you can move from your AC joint to your clavicle to your AC joint, that's as far as the golf swing is. So if I can invert, and if I can putt, And if I can push straight back 3 inches, I'm not talking about my arms and the club, 36 here, 36 there, 72 there. I'm talking about 3 inches from here. If I can move 3 inches, that's my backswing. Now, a lot of pros will basically have you keep the club outside your hands. Why? Because you basically go rotary. So by keeping the club outside, it keeps your left shoulder down and kind of straight back. So they'll want you to lift the club outside, then flare it, and then you're in that position. I personally believe the golf swing is elliptical, and if I can push back 3 inches, that's the golf swing. Okay? So now let's use an exercise to help do that. So when you're at the gym, use your cable machine, pull it down, and again, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to putt. Now the best thing about, I can see my ankles, so I'm just putting down my toe line is what I call it, but I'm just going to move 3 inches from here to here. I'm not talking about 3 inches from here. I'm talking about 3 inches from here to here, which the lever is now going to be all the way to the top. The arms will automatically go to the top because you're inverted. So if I get putt, putt, and just drive straight down, there's my backswing. So again, putt, putt, go to the top. Okay? So if you have a tendency to come too far inside, lift, cast, cup, scoop, chick, block, pull, understand how the shoulders move, because the shoulders moving incorrectly is going to cause a lot of stuff. So if I'm down the line and my shoulders move rotary, and now I think my shoulder's going to move rotary the other way, now I'm going to go outside. So all the over the top, now when I over the top, how do I get back to ball? Well, I got to release the club. So I got to cast it, cup it, scoop it, chick it, block it, pull it, right to left ball, it's going right. Or just smother hook it and pull it left. So try this drill, try on the machine, just work with your shoulders. I like to do it down a toe line like this so I can see my ankles. I never want to go around. I want to stay down the line. And I'm just going to push it back 3 inches. Now the other way, I'm going to push it 6 inches. So I push, put my chin in a hole, drive straight down, put my right chin in a hole. And to me, that's pretty much the golf swing. So the left shoulder is going to load the right glute. And the right shoulder right now, that's 40 degrees lower than my left, I'm going to drive it down. It's going to push my left hip 45 degrees back and around. And that's pretty much your golf swing. So again, I have about 4 more of these biomechanic drills. Stay, be right back.